Do you know, boys and girls, do you know how hard it is to get just one talent on Stirring the Pot? It's a lot of digging. It's a lot of asking. It's a lot of typing. But look what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't even keep counting. Look what we have tonight. A very special Stirring the Pot. This is Stirring the Pot with Donkey Cade. And my very special guests tonight, we have and I want to say this correctly because it's a long name and we're going to speak about this. Russell Association Heartstrong Gumi Roundtable with some fine talent that's going to be debuting on their debut show. And not only that, boys and girls, we have the owner, one Jake Adams, who has agreed to come on here. I hope he has a screwy, like a screw loose, because if he doesn't, we're all going to be in trouble. Because if there's nothing that we do not do is not have fun. We love to have fun. We lift the talents. We lift the promotions. And tonight we're talking about a debut in we have the last guy to come in and join our soiree. One Mr. Skyros. So I'm just going to start there whether he's here or not, and then I can stop talking. Boys and girls, tonight we've got the Moonlight Son, Mr. Skyros. We have Rad Dad himself, RadleyBelmont from the Stepdads. We have, don't call him the man. This is Johnny Moran. Welcome, my friend. We have, look at this guy. He's been smoking for a while, probably however old he is there. We have Guy Sadlowski. Thank you, my man, for joining. How many fingers am I holding up, my man?
That's 2. Well,
yes, you win nothing. And then, look, we have Isana, our beautiful Isana. Thank you for joining this crazy cast we have tonight.
Oh boy.
And to top all of this off, we have the owner of, I'm just going to call it Heartstrong Gumi for here on out.
That's the short one. You forgot Will, too, our senior.
I mean, I wasn't going to say. But...
Well, I am so sorry. I have all of these windows and little bubbles. I am so sorry. And you're always so quiet, Mr. Will Dojan. We have Ref Dojan with us. Always a pleasure. We've had him on the show a couple times. Always a pleasure. Mr. Moonlight Son, are you here with us or?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can.
Cool. Perfect.
I don't see you though. Does anybody see Mr. Skyros?
No, sir.
Skyros, are you wearing sunglasses? Because I said you would be.
I'm now wearing sunglasses.
I win nothing. Woo! And yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Dojan. I did not mean to put you to the side. And then to cap this all off, we have the owner of Heartstrong Gumi with us tonight, getting this all together, getting this whole event together. Jake Adams, thank you so much, everybody. Mr. Adams, I'm going to start with you. Thank you so much, my friend, for wanting to do this. And I know you're a busy guy and setting some time aside to do this. I appreciate it.
Oh, like I said, when we were just kind of bullshitting, I'm not the important one. Everybody else who's with us here are the important ones. I'm literally just the fat guy in the background.
Oh, wow. Well, we're not going to address you as such, so I'm going to address you as Mr. Adams. I'd rather do that.
You just call me Pink. It's cool.
Okay. Now, the fine talent you have culminated for this event being your debut event, June 12th, 2021. We are going to be, I'm sorry, June 6th. I get my dates. I got way too many dates. Sorry. I do apologize. Thank you for correcting me. June 6th, we're going to be at Landry's Combine in Holyoke, Massachusetts. That's 532 Main Street, Holyoke. See, I can remember that. But look at the fine talent that we've culminated to hang out with us tonight. Mr. Adams, I have to applaud you for putting together such a fantastic card. Very diverse at that. And why don't you take the reins over here and speak about the name, the company itself, what's going on here, and the talent you've culminated here.
The name we'll try to do quick because it's kind of a long, dumb story. I don't know about dumb, but Heartstrong Gumi is based on a lot of promotions of Japan from the 90s and 2000s. The Wrestle Association part comes from Tenryu's War promotion, which was originally formed as Wrestle and Romance, but then was switched to Wrestle Association R. So that's where we took that part from. Heartstrong, I'm actually Big Heartstrong, which Rad knows. When I was wrestling, that was my nickname, which in the back got shortened to Heartstrong. The Gumi part comes from Professional Wrestling Fujiwara Gumi, which was a shoot promotion in the early 90s. And Gumi is just the phonetic reading of the word group in Japanese. So, long story short, what it's essentially saying is Heartstrong Gumi is my group of wrestlers that I've brought together to represent the vision that I'm trying to get across, if that makes any sense.
No, because like I said on the onset of this, very diverse card you have going on, and I appreciate everything you're giving us, the fans, right now. You do a Patreon at $1.99, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's what starts at, yeah.
And what you do is you give the Patreon members, you give them the insight first, and then the following day, you give the rest of the fans what you've presented to your Patreon. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's only been a few instances where we haven't, like with Skyros's match, we let everybody know that first. And with Akira being on the show, we let all the fans know that first.
Oh, man, the names you have on this show. Now, what made you, and I know we have a lot of talent to speak to, and I'm not going to take too much longer with Mr. Adams here solely, but what made you put this all together here? Because this kind of came out of nowhere. And a two-part question, why Kevin Landry's Combine?
The first one is, ever since I kind of walked away from wrestling, you always want to come back. It's just kind of hard finding your way back in when you've been gone for so long. So when I kind of got my foot back in the door with the podcast, and then I realized that I was, reconnecting with a lot of old friends and making a lot of new ones, I've always thought, if only I could run my own promotion one day, that'd be really awesome. But when you live in New York, that's nearly impossible with all the hoops you have to try to jump through in New York.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where well, now I know sense it doesn't, but it used to bug me all the time. I wouldn't at least have 2 or 3 days a week where I'd be like, just being at work, doing nothing, wishing I was somewhere else. Like, man, I wish I could do something in wrestling again. And I was actually watching my wife, who started her own business, and watched it grow. And I was like, if she can kind of start at nothing and start building, then why can't I at least give this a shot? So we sat down, we talked about it, and I was like, listen, I just want to do it. Whether it works or it doesn't, I just want it to happen.
Yeah.
So she said, all right, we'll find a way. And we've managed to pull this off. And even if, like I said, I don't think it's going to fail. I don't think there's anything we could. Even if it were to, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be up at night anymore going, man, if only I could run a show. It will have happened regardless. And I just wanted to make sure that I fit as many people who were special to me on the show as I could, which explains the gigantic number of people and matches.
Yes, we do have 12 matches. That's going to be a hell of a night.
Yeah.
All of you men and women that are joining us on the round table, you guys are going to give us something special. I feel really good things about this event. And Mr. Adams, now this is not, and I know you spoke of, if it doesn't work out, hey, I gave it a hell of a shot. Is there a goal? Is there an end game of, I would like to do something regularly, maybe once a month or once every other month? Do you have something in mind already?
Rad and I, actually everybody and I has talked about this. The goal right now is quarterly, so that we can, build up, I guess, enough space between to kind of get interest. And two, I've been open and upfront with everybody about this from the beginning. The reason why the show was planned in January and is happening in June is because I'm paying for it by myself. I'm just a regular dude who, with, a wife and 3 kids, who drives fork truck saving all this money so that I can make sure that everybody gets paid exactly what they were promised. There's no gate was short, brother. Here's, a pack of Nathan's hot dogs. It's making sure that everybody gets exactly what they were told. And I'm trying to be as honest and as transparent of a promoter as humanly possible, because wrestlers get a lot of shit. There's a lot of stuff they go through that fucking sucks, and I wish they wouldn't have to do that. So if I can try to be as good of a dude to them as possible, then usually they're good to you back, and that's, I don't know, I guess in a sense, trying to create that Gumi, that family, is a big thing about all of this.
With what you just said there, and then we're going to move on to the fine talent we have with us. No brother stuff there. I love that. You ask for a rate, you're going to get your rate. There's no excuses. There's none of this. We've agreed to something. You're going to get that. First, I want to start with that. Second off, the inspiration from your wife, I think, is absolutely amazing. I love that you've seen what she was doing and carried that over and wanted to do something that you love. I absolutely find that amazing. Third off, getting, like you said, I want to get as many of the people that were special to me, not 1,000 of my friends and have 32 matches. There's a big difference right there. I find those words very, I took from what you said there. And lastly, for a regular Joe working, an average working guy with a family, to save up money to put on just one event, never mind one match or 3-match event, to put on a 12-match event is an overwhelming task. I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how your wife is handling all of this. God love her. I really just got to say that. But Mr. Adams, I cannot wait until we see the fans, till we see this product that you're going to be presenting, because I feel it's going to be something special with what you've presented for the card, the graphics that you've been putting out in a very timely and strategic manner. I love all of that. So I just want to give you some love and props on what you've put together and how you're presenting it.
Thanks. And it's not just necessarily like me, putting all this together, because I've also been lucky enough that everyone who's involved has been throwing ideas at me or been willing to talk things out with me or work things with me. I wouldn't be anywhere without the talent. And I try to be very open about that it's all them. They're just helping me achieve kind of what I wanted to make, because this is a very niche product. This is as ridiculously close as I can try to get to a Japanese promotion in America, which isn't going to be perfect. It's not going to be like a dead-on thing, but they know what I'm going for and they know what I want. And they also have their own ideas and their own things they want to do. And I've tried not to say no to anyone. It's just trying to find ways that will make everything work for all of us. Because there's nothing worse than having your creativity just kind of tossed to the side. Because wrestlers are very creative people. So it needs to be important that they get their idea and their vision out too. Like Guy and I have talked a lot about stuff where he's had ideas about things. And it's always, I never tell him no. I always say, okay, let's just figure this out and make it work.
Well, I love everything you just said there. And my man Guy, I'm sure he has plenty of visions. You might want to say no to a couple. I'm just saying.
No doubt.
Just saying.
No.
Mr. Skyros, I do not see you. Are you still with us here, sir?
I am.
Okay. I wanted to go to you right after everything that Mr. Adams said, because you have been on Stirring the Pot, and I love your perspective when it comes to the world of wrestling. Everything that Mr. Adams just said to us, what he wants to present, what he's gone through to bring this product to the table, and his vision, and the people that he's gathered together. What are your thoughts after what he's just told us?
Funny, like, based on conversations I've had with Jake, even previous to him wanting to do the show, it's in line with everything we've talked about. Like, the selling point for me on doing this show was that it's coming from the heart for him, and I can only speak for myself, but the opportunity to do something interesting on a show and be able to kind of mess around and do different things creatively that I've wanted to do. And additionally, to have someone like Jake there who is like understanding of that vision and wants to do something genuine to himself, it's really cool and it's artistically fulfilling for me. And it's really cool to see it happen for Jake as well.
Uh, uh, I feel there's going to be a lot of this in this roundtable, which is going to be amazing. And Mr. Skyros, you're talking these words, and you're getting my juices flowing here. I got goosebumps going on, which Mr. J. Bougie thinks I have an issue with that. But F him. I just get goosebumps when I talk wrestling and hear when the performers and athletes are talking as such, because he's going to be able, boys and girls, if there's nothing that the talent on this card is going to be short of, is creativity. And hearing Jake Adams opening up that door of creativity and not stifling that is going to be something really fun. And then listening to Mr. Skyros, I think he has something special and different for us. Can I say that's correct, Mr. Skyros?
I mean, yeah, like definitely way more special down the line because the first match is going to be a murder.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Hey, at least he's honest, you know.
Well, like, I mean, like, Mike was reckless in our first match, and he cut my face open, which happens. Like, that's wrestling, but, like, I put all this work into putting out, like, this sweet-ass promo and all this stuff, and the ace doesn't even have the common decency to respond. So he's not here, so I don't know, like, we'll see what happens, but there's a point in time where, like, yeah, it's wrestling, but that's going to reflect, at least in how I approach the match, and I hope he's adequately prepared.
And I love that he's talking the history. Boys and girls, if you do not know, it is going to be the ace Mike Montero against the Moonlight Sun, Mike Skyros. There is a small history with blood involved. So as Mike
The small history is the scar on my fucking chin that he left there.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So the word murder really just came out. So I don't know what we're going to see here. But yeah, that's going to be a hell of a banger, as the kids say. Now, Mr. Skyros, the direction of what, you know, Mr. Adams' vision, you're totally on board. You could see this, you know, proceeding, as he's saying, quarterly, down and some years down the road with the vision he has right now.
A little bit, because obviously, well, not obviously, but Jake is, I mean, it's his vision, so he's gonna understand it a lot better than I will. What attracted me to the vision of the promotion again is the genuineness of it, and the fact that it comes from a good place from Jake. It's not him, like he said, it's not him like a lot of people want to just take money and play wrestling and play fantasy booker with their friends. That's really not what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as familiar with the deep, like, Japanese wrestling promotions as he is, but from watching, like, All Japan and Noah and things of that nature, I can understand a little bit of the vision that he's going for, and it's something that I personally think is really cool and want to contribute to.
And just to kind of butt in a little bit, the idea of Skyros Montero too is important, because in Japanese wrestling there usually isn't a ton of like ridiculous storylines, but one of the main storylines that is one of my favorites is the "I hate your fucking face," and I feel like that's what we're going on here, because Skyros has a very genuine reason to be upset and want a rematch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, this is what I'm talking about, boys and girls. Everybody wants to be the creator, the writers of Uncle Vince's companies and all the major companies. F that. That's a big ass toll to take on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some can get away with it. I've never, ever would fake like I could be a creative. Let me tell you, Mr. Adams, I love everything you're doing here. Now, I want to move on to our lovely Isana. And we have spoken many times. We have seen each other at many a show. And as recently as a Shut Up and Wrestle, seeing her perform. And in the crowd, if you will. So I want to speak about your match because I don't think you've ever gone against said Daje Simone, if you will. Am I correct on saying that?
Not on a one-on-one. We've done a match. It was actually, it might have, it was a four-way. Actually, it was a four-way. I was trying to remember if it was a four-way or a tag because it kind of blends together. And then we've also done some stuff at Lucky Pro where it was like just a scramble battle royal type thing. But we didn't really get our hands on each other that much. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. I got to see her. I went to Test of Strength at the beginning of the month, and she was in attendance, and I got to see her and chat with her a bit and be like, we're gonna have a blast together, and we're gonna beat the crap out of each other, and we're both really excited to see, like, just test each other. That's kind of the story of our match, is seeing how far we can push each other. And really test the depths of each other's waters, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this is something that, again, because I was assuming it was a first meeting match. I love these, Mr. Adams, when said wrestler meets said wrestler for the first time, because their juices almost start. They get a little bit more amped up than maybe, okay, I've wrestled this X opponent maybe 2 or 3 times, and I kind of got a feel. We know what to expect, but I'm going to throw them a little something different or such. But these first-time meetings, I love these, Mr. Adams.
And that was something, like, when I talked with, like, Danny Adam and Guy and Johnny Moran, was that, like, when doing this, because it's kind of so spaced out, I feel like it's important to give as many first-time matches as possible. And besides that, if we are doing something where it's happening again, it's only, I think, like, the second time. Like, in Skyros' case, it's his second time facing Montero. In the Stepdad's case, it's their second time facing Round Lake Syndicate. I don't think there's really anyone on here, or with Juicy and Becca, it's their second time. None of these are really more than 2.
Okay. Because it makes it that much more special, if you will, by seeing these culminate in front of us. I want to shoot back to Isana, and I want to touch upon, and I know you have your match and you're focused on that, but like Mr. Adams said, there is a number 2 between Big Juicy, hometown favorite. What a pop this girl gets. You know this firsthand because just at the last Shut Up and Wrestle, you went against her. Wow. And it's hard to kind of top that pop that she gets at her home base at Kevin Landry's Combine.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, Juicy is one of my favorite people in wrestling right now. I absolutely love Juicy. I like wrestling her. I like hanging out with her. I like learning with her. Like, we meshed really well when she first started coming around. I was like, this one's special. I'm keeping my tabs on this one. And especially with Holyoke being her hometown, like, well, not her hometown, but her home promotion. She's probably going to be the biggest pop of the night, and I will not be mad about that. My brother wandering around in the background, you will also see.
Why am I wrestling a Jawa?
The Jawa! Thank you! That's what I said! He looks like a Jawa! That's exactly what I said! Thank you, Mr. Billington! Thank you!
If it makes you feel any better, Russ literally messaged...
wrestling a Jawa!
Russ messaged me, I think it was yesterday or the day before. He goes, I have actual promo pics you could have asked for, right? And I was like...
No, I'm wrestling PT. It's great.
Just wait till you see his mustache. It's wonderful.
No, I have seen. Yes, that's exactly. I have seen pictures of said opponent from Mr. Billington. Yeah, I was kind of surprised, to be honest with you. I was
talking about mustaches quick.
If he doesn't come out with glowing eyes, I'm quit. Like, nope, never do this again.
If we're talking about mustaches, we have to talk about the mustache Johnny rocked a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing, and not only that Abe Lincoln that he had, I thought he looked fantastic. But now that Mr. Moran is shaved, I think he looks absolutely gorgeous, but some say he needs the beard back. I absolutely do not, Mr. Moran. I am so down with the clean look. You look amazing. And just, and just kind of guy, you look gorgeous. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, for fuck's sake. But Mr. Moran, I appreciate you joining this soiree
Grow the
because
mustache.
I I know you know my ridiculousness and my sticky stuff, and you have a lot of shit going on right now between your wrestling career, your podcast, and such. So before we get into your match, why don't you throw us a little bit of what you have going on this new pod, your latest venture, if you will?
It's a podcast called Moran and Friends. I was looking for another outlet during, COVID to keep myself out there. So I literally just started messaging people and asking them that I'm close with, would you be on my podcast? I'm going to start this up. And then I got a fantastic graphic made by her. He's out of Japan. He does a lot of work for Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW. And he also drew the Scooby-Doo comics. Yeah.
I will say those were the first things because us as fans, I've always said it, I'll say it again, we're so easy, just a little bit of media, but something that really pops in front of our face, and those I caught right onto. And I think I probably complimented maybe too many times on different on your different shares, but I absolutely love all the graphics that have been coming out. And not only that, I don't want to take anything away from the product. The product is a great thing because I come off in my own way, and other podcasters, they come off in their own way with their style and questions. But you do it in a very different manner because you're within the community, the world of wrestling, and you get in other wrestlers and you talk to them in a different manner. And I absolutely grasped right onto that as a fan.
Thank you. Well, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like an in-character thing, going back and forth type of deal. But I feel like I get a lot of heat for it because everybody's like, why am I not on? I thought we were friends. And, seasons, I can't get everybody on season 1. Like, I already have my season 2 graphic ready. There'll be season 3 coming, I will promise. But I am a little offended during the whole shirt.
Did you say did you say the HBO shirt, my friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm offended that. I don't know if you know who like beat, but it was me. I don't know if you were there for it, but
well, I know that you and the Forever Champion has a history. I know there's a history there. But I did wear this not to bust Mr. Moran's balls. But today is HBO's birthday. Happy B-Day to HBO. What's up, kid? But, I did not do this with any slight to Mr. Moran. It just happens to be the Gumi Roundtable and Mr. Moran holding that beautiful belt. The HBO, he still got his eye on that thing.
Lost.
Yeah.
To me.
Guy says you're still running from him.
Oh, wow.
Hey, listen, Jake, you want to throw shots at me? You could have booked this. So
No. That Patches that's his. I'm not touching that one.
He's like,
all him. I would never do that.
He's like, that's all Patches. But with that beautiful championship, that is the NYCW Heavyweight Championship held by none other than Johnny Moran. Now, that is actually going to be up for grabs at the Gumi debut because you are going against Sean Leader, one of Rhode Island's finest talents. That kid can go, as they say. Are you ready for one Sean Leader, my friend? And is this a first meeting between Mr. Moran and Mr. Leader?
Yes. It's the first time meeting. Yes, I am. and you're going to see a promo. And I have a surprise for him since he's got his little Lego bat.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much. And then something that drops tonight that I don't want to give too much of a surprise out.
No.
But I'm ready. He can bring
Okay.
his Lego back.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't see that coming. That, again, kids, that's going to be a banger. I want to just stop. I want to do a pause right here because it's going to be 532 Main Street in Holyoke, and I know there's going to be very limited seating. If I'm not correct, if I am correct, is there only going to be like 35 seats, Mr. Adams?
Yeah, that's it.
Are there still tickets available?
There are.
Okay. How do they get a hold of said tickets? And they are $30. I think it's a fine price for such a grand evening of wrestling with 12 matches. I mean, come on. But how does one get tickets?
Message me.
Oh, message Mr. Jake Adams.
And
Wow, that's simple.
Either message me, message the Heartstrong Gumi Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, or my personal page. I don't care. Just message me. I will help you.
Okay, awesome. I want to scoop back to Mr. Moran and that beautiful championship because I absolutely love that championship. That's one of them in our in our tri-state area, if you will. I love that thing. Mr. Moran, how long have you held that belt for, if you don't mind me asking?
Over a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I know things are a little tough running in NY itself. So hopefully we can get something running. But this is what I love though. Interpromotional title match. Oh, who's the special guest? Please, Mr. Adams.
Say hi, Archie.
What's up?
Hi.
Hi. Do you watch wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Ooh, who's your
watch
favorite
Alita?
wrestler?
Do you have a favorite yet?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Archie, come on, come leave Daddy alone.
Okay.
Archie, you gotta
What's your best, buddy?
Question. That's a
I
real
love you.
question.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a favorite yet. He really he'll watch a lot of different stuff, but he doesn't necessarily point to anyone specific. Lily does have a favorite wrestler.
Ooh.
And it's Davey M.
Not a bad faith to have. Not a bad faith. Now, I want to scoot back to Mr. Adams before we go to the next talent. Why do this interpromotional thing? Because I know there's more than one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But why interpromotional? And is it hard to get said promoter in the other company to agree to something like this?
Can he chill with you?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I just had to take the baby.
Oh, that's quite all right. No, please.
Hey, the baby.
Interpromotional is something that's much more common in Japan than it is in America. If you think about it, we are having a Battle Arts rules match on the show. When Battle Arts had their first show, FMW had a match on it. There was already a working relationship before they even started. And you see a lot of promotions that will have working agreements with each other. Trying to think of recently during the pandemic, I know All Japan was using 2AW's arena to do shows, but it's just something that you see a lot more of there. So it was important to me because I don't want it to kind of just be like a closed thing. I want it to be open to as many people as possible. And with the NYCW thing, Patches is a person who gave me opportunities in wrestling that I didn't have. Okay. So it was about repaying that favor. So I said, hey, well, at first I brought up to Johnny. I go, hey, would you want to defend the belt? And he said, absolutely. I said, okay, let's talk to Patches. So then I reached out to him and said, hey, I know it's been a while since anything's happened, and it looks like it's still going to be a while. Can we do something so that people, are still getting a title match somewhere? And he was all about it. Immortal is actually my local indie in the middle of nowhere, upstate New York. So it was a deal where Rick kind of worked that out between Mike King and I. Mike King and I kind of know each other, but we haven't really talked. But I was all about the idea of having that title defended too.
And that's going to be Rick Recon with Mr. Ville, going against the champion Damian Slade.
Other way around.
For that. Huh?
Recon's the champ.
Oh, Recon's the champ. Oh, my bad. See, I tell you, I get shit so fucked up.
It's okay. He's the one who can't repeat things.
I get things so messed up because feeble mind. We all know that. And so Mr. Recon is the champion. Now this is again an interpromotional champion with Immortal Championship Wrestling for their Northeast Championship. Again, I love this interpromotional stuff. I think it's so cool. As a fan, seeing the announcements, I was like, "Oh, this is great! I love this stuff." I'm sorry, I did not mean to reverse that. My fault.
You're getting your ass kicked.
Now, I've been waiting to talk to this guy because he's been doing a lot of smoking, if you will, and I've been very interested on getting his thoughts on. There's a big match coming up for my man, Guy Sadlowski. He's going up against one of the. Now, not that both of you are not upcoming, but Love Doug, he's turning heads here very quickly, and he's been spreading his wings to a lot of different places. And you, my friend, are going against Love Doug. Are you ready for everything that Love Doug brings to the table, my friend?
So after you watch, when you think about the Skyros Montero match and how violent that's going to be, take the polar opposite and you got it. How much love can you fit in one ring? You're going to find out because it's just going to be unreal. We're going to have a blast and I'm just stoked. Like, so much love, Don. So much happiness. He's a human Valentine. I can't wait.
And this is a first-time meeting, correct?
Yes.
Now, do you feel, and I know you're a hippie and he's a lover, I don't know, I guess a lover. Do you feel that you have almost similar vibe? And how do we bring this together? Is this two faces going against each good guys, if you will? Is this two good guys coming together and just having a little bonding time with the guys? What is this?
All right.
Yeah,
so
and are you more hippie or boho?
I've seen plenty of Love Doug, and he's sneaky, super sneaky.
Okay.
I'm sure he's gonna try some nonsense. I'm gonna be ready for his nonsense, and we're gonna wrestle. I love him like I love all of you and everybody else, so I don't know where we go from here. We're already at the high point of the match where he's trying to get everybody to love him. I love him.
Okay.
Doug will
Can I ask you about a possible X factor? You are one half of the tag team called War and Peace, along with Danny Adam. Now, would your tag team partner be coming in tow and be on the outside of the ring with said Guy Sadlowski, or are you coming solo to the debut of Gumi?
All right, so Danny Adam is wrestling Rip Bison, right? And Danny Adam, if he's wrestling before me, he will probably be on his way to a hospital. I love you, dude, but you will probably be on your way out. Not that I don't think you can win, but you're probably gonna die, bro.
I was
talk about another murder.
To say this like when we got to the show, but since this is based on Japanese pro wrestling, every wrestler is allowed 1 second. So you are allowed to have someone who's there who maybe is on the card or not on the card. Just happens to be someone else in the back who's with us. You are allowed to bring one person with you to the ring.
What I'm saying is, if Danny wrestles before me, he's not going to be able to, bro.
You're probably
have to wheel him out there.
I don't want to like crap on Mr. Adam.
I love him.
I mean, you might not die. You might die.
Danny is a fantastic wrestler. The only reason I'm shitting on him is because he's my tag team partner, and I'm allowed to do that. But it's Rip. I don't know. I mean, I hope he wows everybody, and it's like, wow, that Danny Adam can freaking go. But let's be real.
Wow. I'm getting mixed signals with this hot and cold thing from Guy and his tag team partner and his possible demise and death, murder, if you will. But Isana, she looked very, very intrigued. When Mr. Adams says you can bring one person to the ring, I think she just got something in that mind of her.
My gears are turning. I don't necessarily have anything set in stone there, but I was not aware of that. So now my gears are turning, and now I'm sitting there going, oh, this, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can throw Dajé around the ring pretty well, but it would always be nice just in case, especially if she brings a second. If I have a second.
Can I
and that's not necessarily for like interference purposes. Yeah.
No.
That's more for like, the advice or the help.
If she has a second and then I have to throw the second around, I might be the second, depending on who her second is.
Can I suggest somebody?
Second, I'm screwed.
Would you mind if I made a suggestion for your second, Isana?
No, shoot.
She has named her stuffed shark TJ Howell III. Maybe you can bring him to the ring. That would be amazing.
You got it. That's my second.
Yes.
Skyros still hanging around.
With a giant stuffed shark now.
Mr. Skyros, are you here, my friend?
Yes. Like Skyros, like in retrospect, like when you're watching those like late 80s All Japan matches, and then you just kind of glance in the background and you see like a baby Kawada in Tender's corner being the second. Those are the cool things to me, like knowing that there's people there and those are the people like, yelling for them to watch out or to be their support or to just kind of be there for them when they need them.
Yeah, I always thought that was cool. Plus, it's like, it gives it the feel of like a fight camp almost, to where like you have your boys or your trusted people right there with you.
Yeah. You want Volcom?
I mean, I will say that I've been watching a lot of Joshi lately. And first off, it's given me a lot of great ideas on how to murder people.
Oh my God, more with the murder.
Have you seen Joshi? They kill each other. It's great.
They literally kill each other.
It's terrifying. So I can speak to that. I don't know if I've ever really paid attention to the fact that they had a second, but I really do enjoy the fact that they have like a whole group of people there that are there to, like, when they come out of the ring and they're down, that they're there giving them water and wiping their brow. And I find that to be a really cool addition to it. Like it kind of brings home the dojo aspect of it. That, these are the young boys and the young girls in the dojo that are learning from the person that's in the ring. Maybe not, maybe it's not the dojo master, but they're, that's the person that they're training to become. And they're there in person live and seeing this happening and being like the support for that. And I've always found that to be super fascinating and super cool. So I can definitely concur with you on that, Jake.
Wow. That's awesome. Now, I want to bring in, he is the only referee we do have on this round table. One Will Dogen, and I am leaving one Rad Dad for the end for a very specific reason. Now, Will Dogen, I cannot thank you for spending the time with us and being part of the round table. You've heard a lot of what's been said from the talent that's going to be on this card, and this is only a sliver of the talent that's going to be on the card. What are your thoughts on Jake's vision and the thoughts of, what the wrestlers have been speaking and how they're feeling, what the vision is, their vibe and what they're digging and such? And could you please talk to us about the matches? Because you're going to be right there in the middle of all of it. I mean, what a hell of a card.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me again, John. It's always a pleasure. I am a huge fan of Japanese wrestling as well, and I think that Jake has blended the American style with the Japanese style pretty well. We have the Battle Arts match that's going to happen. I'm really excited about that. And I got the pleasure to work with Akira a couple weeks ago, and it was a death match, so it was a little different. But I know he's really excited for this match coming up, and Alexander Lee, I know, won't shy away from a fight. I've seen him in some pretty brutal matches, deathmatch type matches, strike fests, all of it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Ever want to quit into a match where you can only lose by submission or knockout?
And that is where the Battle Arts rules come into play.
Battle Arts is another promotion that we're really influenced by, at least in the shoot aspect. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Will, man. I mean to just go ahead. But yeah, Battle Arts is one of those promotions that I really fell in love with as a kid. And out of the shoot style, they're the ones that leaned most towards traditional pro wrestling. Like, despite it being, Fujiwara's students and these dudes, throwing out like sick flying arm bars and stuff, it wasn't uncommon to see a pile driver in there too. Mm-hmm. And I know Paradigm does UWFI rules, which I love what they're doing. I love everything they bring. But one of the harder things about doing shoot rules like that is the point system. And if you don't have like graphics on the screen constantly reminding you of what the points are, it can be kind of hard to keep track. So it was one of those things of still finding a way to do something shoot style related, but make it more easily accessible maybe for people who don't really know the workings of it.
Yeah. And because a lot of this is new to me. What you've been describing, some of the Japanese stuff. I haven't followed the history of said Japan wrestling and such. So a lot of this stuff is new to me, and I'm been fascinated about it because it's so different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you get a different flavor of the art form of wrestling, which is awesome, and I thank you for that. Will Dojin, you see the card that's been coming out as the graphics have been coming out day after day, week after week here. Now, what are you seeing from this card? Because you've been a part of a lot of amazing stuff, and we've talked about your work on Stirring the Pot. You're seeing a debut of a company. You're going to be able to. You are working said event, correct? I don't want to make another mistake. Okay. Yeah. So being a part of this card with the talent that has been culminated for this, could you talk to us about that? Because I know you've seen many of these and maybe not have seen any of them, some of them. So give us your thoughts on the talent.
Well, so lately I've been getting familiar with Skyros. I haven't had a chance to meet him in person yet, but I really like the stuff he's been doing and that I've seen, especially a Test of Strength and some of the other places he's been working at. I like the intensity, and I'm really looking forward to him in Montero. But the thing about that is I've known Montero for a long time, and if he's not careful, he's going to get another scar on his face.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
I have to be impartial, but
We'll see about all that.
Well, if anyone can back it up, I think he can, but it'll be interesting to see.
As someone that knows Montero very well as well, because he came from my home company. I gotta say, Will's probably right. Like, I mean, I honestly don't know which one I want to root more for. This is one of the matches I'm most excited for, and I really don't know who's gonna come out on top because they're both tough as hell.
We are.
So.
Montero super kicked me the last time I saw him, so go Skyros.
And someone that's been very quiet but taking all of this in as we've been speaking. And I appreciate that, and I know this is it's been about an hour right now. And I know I've said it before, but to take the time to just kind of hang out and let the talents kind of speak their thoughts and talk about the matches and the talent that's on the card. I just love the way this has gone, and I cannot appreciate a guy like Rad Dad, because I started with Mr. Skyros, and now I'm kind of bringing it on the tail end here with Rad Dad, because I love their perspectives. There's something about their perspectives on wrestling and the way they speak about the industry that I've always soaked in. I don't know what it is, but both of those guys have always got me when they speak. Oh, sugar! I have somebody's knocking. I think it's somebody's bedtime. If I could just interrupt, I hear a knock. Is that you, nephew Jacob? Please come on in real quick. Is it bedtime, sir? It is bedtime. All right. If you could come in real quick, show face, say what's up. They can't hear.
What's up?
Oh,
What's up, dude?
What's up?
They can hear you, but you can't hear them because I'm wearing an earpiece. So this is nephew Jacob. He's getting ready for bed, so I heard a little knock at the door. So he's just gonna say good night and before he goes to bed. That's Isana. That's you and me. That's Ref Will Dojan. That's Guy Sadlowski. That's Johnny Moran. Don't call him the man. That's Rad Dad, RadleyBelmont. And that's Jake Adams. And the little special guest. And we have Mike Skyros, but you just can't see him.
He's always lurking.
He's always lurking. So say good night. Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Kiddo.
Love you. Nephew Jacob, he makes an appearance every so often on Turning the Top. Now,
Appearances.
that's what they do. And if I ask him to ask questions, he always has two go-to questions. Do you own a laptop is his first question. Why? I don't know. And second, what's your favorite color? It's just his go-to questions. So we don't really get much further than that. I don't know why. But Rad Dad, you are one half of the stepdads. And I know we weren't able to get you both here. It is what it is sometimes. But my friend, we have talked many a time outside of the ring, if you will. And again, I love your perspective on the industry and everything. But I kind of saved you for a couple things. Your perspective and yourself. Business has been picking up. And I've seen that the stepdads have been out there on a light schedule. That breaks my heart. Promotions that are out there. If you're watching this, anybody besides Mr. Jake Adams that's a promoter that is watching this, and my dad and his dog, because I know they watch all of them, please, promoters, would you please just get the stepdads. I don't know if I've ever said this, and I'm not begging anybody, and I'm not licking anybody's ass, but what I am saying is I'm standing up for the stepdads. You need to get these guys. Yes, I'm doing that. You need to get these guys on your show because they bring very many elements, the pieces of the puzzle that is wrestling, all in one package. And I love the stepdad to pieces. So we need to see more of the stepdad. So I wanted to kind of start with that. And
I'll say this: I'll gladly wrestle for your dad's dog if your dad's dog promotes a show. Okay, I'm there.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry about my children.
There's a ruckus going on somewhere, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, Rad Dad, yourself and Wade Kruger, Big Papa Bear, you guys have got your plate full at the debut of Gumi here because you have the Round Lake, you have the Round Lake Wrecking Crew, but not only that, the X Factor we like to speak of on the outside with Alina Evangeline. Is that how you say that? Aliana?
Bless you.
One of those.
I've been calling her Evie. That's all I've been calling her is Evie.
I mean, that works. Why not?
So you have now the third person being the X Factor that can really put a wrench in the system. Now this is not, as Mr. Jake Adams said, this is not your first time meeting the Round Lake Syndicate. Is that correct?
That's right. The last time we wrestled them was, it aired Christmas Day for Truly Independent Wrestling last year. We defended TIW tag team titles against them, and even though we won, Damon Ravage, after the match, threw Scotty Arrow at me so he could chop block me. He literally gave me an arrow to the knee.
Oh, wow. Literally. Wow.
Which injured my leg and ended up costing us the tag team titles to Meat in Black, another tag team there. So they are directly responsible for us losing those And there, like you said, there's a lot of interpromotional matches on this Gumi show. Storylines from other promotions that are being settled here at Gumi, which is really cool. And we have not had a TIW show since then. So this is our revenge. This is the stepdad's revenge. And we are so ready to get in the ring with them. I don't care if there's a second or not. It's going to take a second to take her out of the equation, okay? We are going to have a great time. And I'm telling you this right now. We're going to save our one murder for something else, something like really important. There's not going to be a murder in our match. We're just going to beat them. We're just going to beat them, and then we're going to move on to bigger and better things.
Like murder.
Possibly.
So if I'm keeping score right now, Guy Sadlowski and Rad Dad are taking their murder and holding it on for a later date. Is this correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm saving my 1-3 murder card. I'm going to put it in my pocket for now.
But everybody,
any murders? No murder in my match. I'm
no
working on the murder. I'm not doing the murder right now. I'm saving the murder.
Okay. So half of our table is looking to commit murder, and the other half is not. Okay. As long as I just wanted to get that settled out.
I'm going to maintain murderous order.
Actually, that reminds me, Jake, I have a question for you. Since this is your promotion and you have your referee here, what are the rules for Heartstrong Gumi? Do we have 20 counts on the outside? Is there anything with the DQs? What's going on with your vision there?
Why are you ruining everything I was going to say right at the opening of the show? Yes, 20 counts on the outside.
There we go. I like that. A man who knows his vision. He's got it right there. He's ready to go. That's a good sign to me that this company's going to be very. It's not going to be wishy-washy out of nowhere. We're changing the game here and we're doing something else here. He knows exactly what he wants. I like that.
One of the also differences is even in the non-battle arts matches, on hard enough strikes, there will be a 10 count.
There you go. I like that.
I'm reconsidering my murder.
Wow. A reconsider of murder. Wow. All it took was a 10 count. Now, Rad Dad, you've heard everybody speak about, their matches and such, and you've taken all of this in. You seem to be really into what Jake Adams is presenting as his vision. Speak to us about that, because you're into, if you're one of the guys, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody else, you're one of those guys that's really into wrestling. So talk to us about this whole vision that he has. And like you even brought up a question that I didn't even think of the 20 count because of the Japanese style wrestling. So talk to us about that. And not only that, this is a debut event for a company. Not many get to do this. So I feel that this is probably a little special for maybe the panel that's on here. I may be wrong, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you say I'm really into it. I'm just a nerd. I mean, I grew up with wrestling. I'm super nerdy. I always want to know all the little details of everything.
You didn't grow up with WWF.
Yeah. But I think everyone on here has a great mind for wrestling as well. It's not me for sure. But I do enjoy what Jake's bringing to the table, because I'll just say this kind of blandly. There's a lot of promotions that just kind of follow the WWE formula or what they saw as a teenager watching independent wrestling. They kind of already figured out their formula. Or they don't even have something that differentiates them from any other promotion. For instance, the rules. Back in the territory days, the AWA had different rules set than the NWA. ECW had different rules set than the World Wrestling Federation. Like, try to have their own identity. And there's a lot of promotions over the years that have had extremely unique identities. Chikara, for example. CZW has a very different identity than, say, Pro Wrestling Magic. So having that unique take usually takes time, With this, he's already got his idea. He was able to immediately explain to you why he named the promotion this way. He clearly has a huge love of Japanese wrestling and a specific era of Japanese wrestling that if you don't know it, you might fall in love with it just by watching the product. And if you do know it already, you're going to appreciate those details that much more. I wish every promotion was like that. I'm sure a lot of promotions want to be like that, but he's already got that vibe going. That's really cool.
And to piggyback on top of what you've just spoken of, the creative openness, this is my company. This is what I want out of it. This isn't what he's presenting at all. And I love that about that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think of a wrestling card as like a football team, if you have a really good quarterback, you're not going to throw him on a defensive line. So the way he's trying to structure this show, at least I'm just assuming, is that he's putting everyone in a position that is best suited for them, that they are going to showcase themselves in the best way. I know the match I'm in, I'm going to be very comfortable in that position. We're going to have a great time. We're going to excel. Those who like to murder will be allowed to do that without legal recourse. That's fantastic.
Well, and it's kind of like I was talking to other people about Tenru being a huge influence on all of this because of him being a person who wrestled in, I feel like, every promotion in the 90s and early 2000s. His nickname, especially what me and Rip love to call him, is Murder Grandpa.
Murder Grandpa.
Now, would anybody like to do a last word to their opponent? And I'm not talking, a promo or anything, but is there any last words from anybody about your match or to Mr. Adams before I let everybody go this evening? Or should I bring this to a tail end here? I guess I'll bring it to a tail end here. But what I would like to do before we go out is I do want to go over the card, and I will do it in quick fashion. I know there's 12 matches. But I want everybody that is watching to get a taste of this card that we've been speaking of, because there is a lot going on and there's a lot to offer.
I'll let you give away the last match then, because we haven't put it out yet, but I'll let you do it.
Whoa. Okay. So in no specific order, I'm going to start going through them. And if I get to the match that you haven't announced, just let me know.
All right.
We have Love Dog going against Guy Sadlowski. Guy, hi. Are you with us, my man? Hi. We've got Guy Sadlowski versus Love Dog. That's going to be awesome. For the NYCW Heavyweight Champ. That's a beautiful championship. We have the champ. We have the champ, Johnny Moran, going against the Freak, as he likes to be called, Sean Leader. That's going to be something. We have Isana's brother, Tom Billington, going against Russell K. Best. He did say he looks like a Jawa. In the promo card, it kind of doesn't look like a Jawa, but it is what it is. So that's going to be a fun one. We have Big Juicy going up against Becca. That's going to be excellent. Becca being the chaotic women's champion, might I add.
No.
Not anymore?
Not anymore. Now Armani Chaos is the Chaotic Wrestling Higher Society champion.
Oh, shit. See, these are the things I missed real quick. Like, oh, my goodness. I'm going to have to go look at that. Then we have our beautiful Isana, the suplex sweetheart, going against Daje Simone. If I say her name wrong, she's going to kick me right in the nads. Daje Simone. You got to say that correctly. We have the Immortal Championship Wrestling Northeast Championship on the line with, let me say this correctly, the champ, Rick Recon, with Mr. Ville going against Damian Slade. That's going to be a fantastic match as well. We have, now Guy doesn't have too much confidence in his better half and War and Peace, being Danny Adam going against Rip Bison. My man has been making waves, let me tell you that. Rip Bison has. Then this is one, and not that I'm not looking forward to all of the matches, but this one's got my attention. Higher Society against Delmy Exo and Davey Ann. Oh man, that's going to be some fun. That is going to be a blast. Now we have what we just spoke of lastly of the stepdads going against the Round Lake Record Crew with, I'm just calling her Evie. I'm not saying her full name. I don't know what to call her. Then this is going to be something because I haven't seen this guy in forever, and he is in the middle of all of this. This is a six-person.
The trios match hasn't been announced yet. This is it.
Well, this would be the breaking news for the trios match. Now, I am going to kill everybody's name. So, Mr. Jake Adams, could you please take over and announce the names for this matchup, please?
All right. On one side, we have Denham, Ryan Duke, and the Great Nuka taking on Jimmy Limits, Nevaeh Chantel, and Mayung J. Lee.
And might I add, when you said Jimmy Limits, I only think of my past with Jimmy Limits being PWA. We're talking some years back here. And he's known as something else back in those days. But let me tell you something. Seeing this card and that mush of Jimmy Limits, this dude means business nowadays. This is a no-joke Jimmy Limits coming after. I think he's going to murder somebody, for real. I think he's going to.
That's apparently a common theme, is murder.
I really think he's going to murder somebody. Yes, and some fine talent in that. I cannot wait for that, specifically for a couple reasons. And then we have the ace, Mike Montero, going against the Moonlight Sun, Mike Skyros. And Mr. Skyros, I feel with the intensity of both combatants coming into this might be what they call the sleeper or the match of the night, if you will, just in my opinion.
Is Skyro still here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And then we have, this is something, because we have Alexander Lee going up against Akira in a Battle Arts rules match. Now, Mr. Adams, please remember me what that entails, please.
Okay, Battle Arts rules are simply there is no pinfall. You cannot win by pinfall. You can only win by submission or knockout.
That is going to be a hell of a match.
And it's also the best time ever in Massachusetts and New England as a whole.
I was going to say the bastard of Bangor against the motherfucking Death Samurai.
Death Samurai.
So I want to reiterate that is 532 Main Street in Holyoke at Kevin Landry's Combine. You can even just poke up on the old face page or whatever, even just look it up on Google. It'll bring you right to their to directions to go there. It's $30 a ticket. There are still tickets available. All you have to do is message Jake Adams. He's the guy. He's the go-to guy right there. Message him. You'll get tickets. There are still some available. I cannot thank every single talent that spent an hour and about 10 minutes here speaking about the debut of Wrestle Association Heartstrong Gumi. I think it's going to be something special. All of the conversation we had from promoter to each talent, I think brought that whole vibe of special. I'm telling you, there's going to be something special about this event, and I can feel it. And I cannot thank each and every one of you enough for spending the time to talk to us as fans. I do appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I've had a great time, and it was always fun spending time with these people I love. So,
Isana, a pleasure. Thank you so much. Guy, if you're still with us, I love you. If you can hear my voice, I love you, my friend. Johnny Moran, don't call him the man. Thank you, my friend, for spending the time with us.
Change your shirt.
Oh, man, right in the heart. Rad Dad, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, my friend, as always. And please, I apologize, Mr. Kruger. I apologize. Please, Papa Bear, don't. And Ref Will, I know you're the only ref that we had on our roundtable, but I really appreciate your time, giving us some of your insight. I thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for having me, Don. And all the rest of us.
Great time. Very informational on this. And I believe Mr. Skyros has taken a leave, if I'm not mistaken. Is this correct,
No,
Mr. Skyros?
no, here. No,
He is still there.
he lurks,
Excellent.
man. He's hiding everywhere.
Mr. Skyros, always a pleasure. And I could talk Mr. Skyros all night long, but this was all about Heartstrong Gumi, so I do appreciate your time, my friend.
Likewise, thank you.
And Jake Adams, the promoter, the owner of Heartstrong Gumi, Wrestle Association Heartstrong Gumi. Type that in. Even if you just type in Heartstrong Gumi, G-U-M-I. I was calling it Gummy. I don't know why. For a little bit.
It looks like it.
It kind of does, and I apologize. But boys and girls, just type in Heartstrong Gumi. It'll come right up on the old face page, the Twitter, the Insta. It comes right up. Check it out. Hit the old like, follow, and all of that good stuff. Because if this first event is as kick-ass as I expect it to be,
is that Mayor McCheese?
Excuse me?
Yeah, we got the Bill Tomington is just lurking now.
Is that Mayor McCheese?
Yes.
I love Mayor McCheese.
He doesn't love me.
He doesn't love anybody.
He doesn't love anybody. He doesn't even love me. He talks a lot of shit. Mr. Billington, a pleasure. Yes, thank you, sir. Mr. Adams, I thank you wholeheartedly for getting this all together and having this event. This is going to be amazing.
Thank you. And Guy Sadlowski, fuck strawberry jelly.
Wow!
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm gonna bring you some.
I am going to give you a brain buster onto the jelly in the ring. And then Mike Skyros will be allowed the broken glass for his match later in the evening.
Hell yeah.
Wow, talk about a murder.
Strawberry jelly.
A murder via Schmuckers. Wow. This is Turn the Pot with Donkey King and my very special guests. A very fine roster, just a portion, a roster of the Wrestle Association Heartstrong Gumi, and this was absolutely fantastic. Isana, Rad Mike Skyros, Ref Will, Guy Sadlowski, Johnny Moran, don't call him the man, Jake Adams, and our very special guest, and I will change my shirt right after this. Thank everybody for all of this. This was absolutely fantastic. Oh, what a way to end.